Hello, hello everyone. Happy Tom Ford Tuesday, where Tuesdays are dedicated to Tom Ford Beauty. Today we'll be doing a side-by-side comparison because I recently tried out a brand new foundation, a stick foundation at that. And immediately I said, wow, we need to compare because of what's been going on with the Traceless Soft Matte Stick Foundation from Tom Ford. So today we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, details, close-ups, real life, real between our beloved and the brand new Dior Skin Perfect Stick Foundation. I think that's, yeah, Dior Forever Skin Perfect Stick Face Stick. You know this. So we're going to compare these two. We're going to see. I just felt we needed to know. So shall we? How are we today on this beloved, beautiful, amazing Tuesday morning? Morning is when I post. But hi, how are we? I hope we're doing well. A happy Tom Ford Tuesday again to you. A happy week ahead. It's always a good day for Tom Ford, and whatever day you're watching this, I hope you are having a great day. A little happiness to start off our video. Positive always. So, as mentioned, I recently tried out, did a little over 13-hour wear test on the new Dior Skin Perfect, not Skin Perfect, hold on, let's get it right. The Dior Forever Skin Perfect Foundation Stick. I did a full wear test, details all the things, and with everything that's been going on with the Traceless foundation stick from Tom Ford, I don't know. I love this foundation so much. And there's just been so much information that's come and gone. And I see retailers online only having a certain amount of shades, and some places sold out. You go to the counter, they don't really have a clear answer. They just want to sell you something else. And contacting Tom Ford Direct, it's actually painful. So I'm sorry. I don't have the inside scoop, but I'm sure someone knows something out there, and we will eventually get to that. But anyways, you know, this little guy here, wow, this was impressive. This was so impressive, and this is quite impressive. And I said, you know what? Side by side, necessary, needed. So that's it. That's all I got. That's what we're gonna do today. And with that said, I have dedicated, detailed, full day wear test videos on both of these foundations. If you really want just it alone, more details, more things. Today I kind of want to just give you a condensed variation of the two foundations. So let's start off with details on both, and then we'll get to putting it all over the face. Okay? Okay. So, of course, it's Tom Ford Tuesday, so Tom Ford goes first. I have two colors in the foundation stick from Tom Ford. I have 7.2 Sepia and 7.7 Honey. Honey is my go-to shade across the board with Tom Ford, and as always, my shade references are always listed down below in the description box. I always try to remember to say that because whenever I do complexion videos, it's always down there just for reference. With Dior across the board, I'm a shade 4. Sometimes I'll get a 4.5, depending on the season, depending on when I feel like I'm going to wear that foundation more. The 4.5 is like just a hair dark for me. The 4 is usually my perfect match, but it's usually 4W or 4WO. I have a slight olive undertone, but I'm still quite warm. So whenever I can find a warm olive, we need more of those because I know there's quite a few of us out there. But anyways, 4. That's what I wear in Dior. Now, this foundation stick in particular, they didn't have the option of warm tones. It was all neutrals across the board. So for this, I have the shade 4N, for neutral. Product amounts, let's talk about that really quick. So Tom Ford on the left is got 15 grams. Dior on the right is 10 grams. What is it about this foundation that is just like it? I'll tell you right now, this thing looks so good for a stick. With my experience with stick foundations, I have found them to be a little bit more emollient, a little bit more heavy, a little bit more substantial when you swipe it on your face. When you swipe it on your face, you feel that on your face. I feel like I have a sound effect in my head for that feeling. But I don't know how that's going to translate here on the internet, so we're going to just we're just gonna not. With this one in particular, it does not feel like that. It's not a heavy product. It's a product with good coverage. I want to say that the Tom Ford Stick Foundation gives a good solid medium that you can build. It's very lightweight. It's very comfortable. It's literally all of the things you want in a foundation across the board. Good coverage, good wearing, feels amazing. I cannot stress how much the importance of how things feel on the skin is. I think if you're going to sit there and wear something all day, it might as well be comfortable. So I do get that with the Tom Ford, and I love the look. The look of the Tom Ford on the skin, on the long wearing days, on the quick, easy days, on the date night days, always looks really good. Very natural. It has a soft matte finish, a very natural soft matte. Tom Ford, for me, throughout all of my experiences with the brand, when it comes to matte, I'm never getting a dull, dry, flat, dull kind of gig. I'm always getting that true, natural, soft, modern matte. And when I say modern matte, I feel as if now all of our other brands are doing it as well. We're not getting that super flat, dry, no oil at all, no sebum on the skin. We're getting a little bit more of that your skin, but there's just no shine. And if there is a shine, it's very, very minimal. And that is what you get with the Tom Ford. The Tom Ford Stick Foundation, when it comes to coverage, you can go in with a little bit and keep it sheer, soft, easy. You can have that medium coverage, build it up. Or you can build it all the way up to a true, full, not heavy and cakey kind of coverage. I personally, this is based off of their description when they're saying sheer, medium, full. Yes, yes. But I find the stick to be more of a medium full. And when I say that is, it's medium coverage where you can still see your skin slightly. You can still see just a touch of your imperfections, but enough to where it's very, very smooth and evened out. I hope I've explained that, because up here it's going 1,000 miles a minute, making sure I get it out the right way. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say with that. The Tom Ford Stick Foundation, you can also use this as a concealer, and I will share that with you on how I do that when we get into the demo portion. The same thing with the Dior, so I wanted to make sure I remember to say that. All right, let's talk about some details about the Dior Stick Foundation. This is newer to me, but ooh, this is that girl who walks in and everyone's just like, oh, I want to be her friend. She's cool. She's nice. She's gorgeous. She's amazing. Here she is. So this is said to give a natural blurred finish that's going to keep you moisturized for 24 hours. That's kind of been the gig I've noticed with a lot of products lately. They're all saying they're going to moisturize you for 24 hours. Or wear for 24 hours. Who's wearing makeup for who's going to bed in their makeup? We need to talk. I've done it before. But I was like 19, 20-ish. But we don't have to talk about that, do we? The Dior Stick Foundation, I find to give a true full-bodied medium. And such a natural skin finish. This is so incredible. I was just immediately blown away. And then the amount of time I put it to the test. And I sat outside for an hour in this 90+ degree heat here in Florida and humidity. It was incredible. It was incredible. I was just wow. That's why we're here today, because I feel like we really need to put these two side by side, because they have, I don't want to say they have very similar claims, but they kind of sort of do. Okay, they're not the same product. Very different. Anyways. But again, medium coverage, but it says it's a buildable foundation stick that glides on smoothly. Yes, she does, and you will see. It evens out your complexion and eliminates your imperfections in a single swipe. The heat and humidity resistant formula has a blurring filter, and it can be used as foundation or concealer or for touch-ups on the go. Having something that you can literally use for everything, just everything all in one, literally everything all in one, I think it's nice. Takes one extra step out of doing your routine in the mornings, or if you're getting ready and you gotta go. So that's really great. So this too can be used as concealer, foundation, you know, all of the things. Packaging, let's touch on that really quick. When I look at both of these, I feel as if they're both their own individuals. Dior is very Dior, very Dior. If you know the brand, you look at it, you're like, okay, on par, great. The Tom Ford, very Tom Ford, very sleek, very sophisticated, very Tom Ford. Packaging on both is very clean and simple. I like it. Obviously, the Tom Ford is a bit bigger, getting more product than the Dior. Dior is a little smaller, a little sleeker, you know, a little slimmer. The shape on the Dior, it's like an oval, and then the Tom Ford is more of your traditional, like a circle. So here's everyone. 7.2, 7.7, and then the Dior. Have I talked about everything I need to talk about before we get into trying this on the face? Give me a second, let me think. I think so. I think so. I want to share as much information with you as possible because, yeah, this is a big deal. I personally think this is a huge deal. Okay, I am just using my skincare as my primer instead of doing half and half. I didn't want to complicate it. There's already enough going on today. So I'm just going in with my skincare as primer today. And this works beautiful as primer. I use it as primer all the time. I think good skincare does that well. I'm 39, combo skin, dry, oily, normal to dry. Okay, let's do it. So it's Tom Ford Tuesday. Tom Ford is going to go first. So 7.2, I put on the inner portion of my face. We're also going to use that as concealer. Look how easy this just blends into the skin. You see? Skin. Foundation where? Foundation who? That's what I love about the Tom Ford. I know. I know. That's exactly how I feel. I have my little freckles right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. You can build it up just a little bit. Still keep it natural and pretty. Same brush. She's built up, but skin is still skinning. Yes. So whatever is left, I'll just blend it downward. And just look at that beautiful finish on the skin. Yeah. I'm going to take my 7.7. Nicely blends into the skin. I'm going to go back in with 7.2. I'm going to pick that up on the finger and blend it as our concealer. Whatever's left, I'll just blend that on the lid. We'll use that as primer for our eyeshadow look today. We're going to put Tom Ford on the forehead. And then I'm going to blend it with a sponge because, again, I wanted to show you all different methods of application, you know, the tools. And that blends so nicely into the skin. I'm going to set my under eye. Now for the Dior side. This side, you can see I have, you know, a bit more imperfections. And this does give good coverage. And I want to share that with you as I swipe. One swipe. I did clean off the brush the best I could to remove all the excess product, but I want to use the same brush to blend this out. You saw how that stick just glided, and you see how it's just melting and blending into the skin. And we got some imperfections going on over here. Let me show you how it'll build. And I'll continue putting my product. I want to say, so that everyone knows, the Dior does have a slight scent to it. I don't get anything from my Tom Ford, but the Dior does have a slight scent. It's not overpowering and it does dissipate rather quickly, but it's there. Just something to note. So before we cover the darkness in our concealer needed areas, look at the skin. Let's apply as concealer. Blend with the finger. Whatever's left, we'll take it on the lid, use that as our primer today. And then we're on the forehead now, and I'm gonna blend that with the sponge. Use this part for the Tom Ford, so I'm just gonna turn it over to like over here where it's clean and blend. Gonna set my under eye with my WESTMAN Atelier Vital Skin Pressed Powder in the shade Pink Bubble. Both products as concealer. Both products on the forehead. Now, my forehead is my driest area. The most dehydrated. I don't get it, but it is. Here we are. If I didn't tell you who was who, what was what, you wouldn't know. I'm just saying. With both products, I still feel like me. I still feel like this is my skin. I'm just smoothed and, you know, evened out. I still feel very comfortable. Both are very comfortable. When it comes to the finish, looking at them both side by side, the Tom Ford, I see a very true soft matte with like your healthy kind of slight level 0.1 glow. Not a dew at all, just a very little moisture look to it. Versus the Dior is more of that matte with very minimal glow shine gig to it. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face makeup. I'm going to keep Tom Ford on Tom Ford's side. We're going to keep Dior on Dior's side. I'm using my hands today for my Tom Ford. Now I'm going to just very lightly, there's a very light layer of powder set. Light layers are key because I like to just set everything, but I don't want it to be powdery. I'm going to mix 2 of my Tom Ford blushes. Everything is going to be listed and linked down below in the description box. If I forget to say something, it happens. I do it. I do. I'm still loving this from Tom Ford. Hands are clean. On the Dior side, I'm going to go into the Dior contour stick. I'm going to put whatever extra on the hand because yeah, you need to do that. This shade especially is a true contour shade. It's not going to give any warmth, really, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to use the same powder that I used on my Tom Ford side. Very light layer. And set. Dior Forever bronzer. When I shared the blush duo with you, I did express my concerns in regards to the blush. You really got to dig in there. I got some suggestions on how to fix that. And I still stand on this highlight being a glittery highlight. And I'm going to show you, especially in comparison to this Tom Ford one. So let's apply. Let me turn on my flashlight so you can see. You're getting more of a glittery with the highlight from the Dior versus the Tom Ford that's just like this glow on the skin. I think seeing it side by side helps a little bit because some people are like, no, I don't want that. And it's not that it's bad, it's just something to note. I thought it was like a little detail to share. Let me just do my lip really quick. We're gonna create a look with Disco Dust. Such a pretty palette. I know, it's Tom Ford Tuesday, but this is just a brand and a mascara I've been reaching for a ton. It's from What's Up Beauty. It's the Watch Me mascara. It's the one with the dual-ended wand. Here's our finished and completed look. If I didn't tell you that I was wearing 2 different products, be honest, would you be able to tell? Comment down below. I want to hear because you know what? This is always really fun doing these side by sides. So, what's the verdict? What does Mo think? What's my humble opinion? So here's what I have to say. They both feel so extremely comfortable. They both wear so extremely well. But reality is, we don't know what's going on here. And if with the purchase, you know, Estee Lauder and all the things, they plan on revamping this, we honestly risk formula change. And we risk that with any product at any time, okay? Currently, at the moment, a lot of retailers don't have every single shade, and it's kind of like you might be able to get it at the counter, you might not. When it comes to the Tom Ford, this truly I like more. I feel maybe because I have a little bit more experience with it, I trust it more. She's still new, but she's so gorgeous too and wears so well. Doesn't move, doesn't budge. The Dior, it's light, it glides. The biggest downside for me when it comes to the Dior, and it's probably the only downside, and that's big, because when I was just so blown away by the performance, by just everything overall with this new stick foundation from Dior, I really couldn't find anything to complain about. I know. I feel like we all can find something to complain about with the product, but the biggest thing for me with this, and maybe they'll change it in the future, is the fact that they only have it in neutral undertones. I mean, I can get it to work, but it needs to first warm up to my skin and kind of sit for a little bit. Because when I first initially put it, it's a little, and then also when you put your other products, everything comes together. That's fine and dandy. But I hope to see, you know, Dior has my favorite undertones. Warm undertones, olive undertones, neutral undertones, cool undertones, pink all of them. They're great about it. But right now, this has only got that going on. Before everything happened with this guy, the Tom Ford, they had all the shades, all the tones, all the things, to the point that I can use too. Now, something I want to touch on, and this is in regards to both of these products. Neither of them are excluded from what I'm about to say. Using this as concealer, it's not my first choice. What I will say is, let's say it's just something you want to do and you have literally the most amazing, perfect skin. You're young, you're youthful, you're fresh. I'm almost 40, so things are a little different in that area. Go for it. I know it's going to look great. So what I've noticed when using either of these as a concealing product is even when I use just a little bit, I'm not getting enough coverage. I'm not getting enough concealage for my darkness. even with a sponge finger brush. Either way, I don't feel like I get enough coverage when I go the lightweight, and then I'll build it up to where I feel comfortable and it's fine and dandy. But when it comes to the wear of it as a concealer, it's just not my favorite. It looks okay. I can get through the day. It's nice for that super effortless gig when you just, you know, you're just putting a little something on for a couple of hours. It'll work for that, but my days are long. My days start very, very early. I am an early bird. I wake up at 5 every single day. With school back in session, I have to wake up even earlier sometimes. So my days start really early. And I like the convenience factor of a product like this to use as concealer too. But because my days are so long and I wear my products for 13, 14, 15 hours plus, using these as a concealer, and again, this is regarding both, I can't do it. So just something to note. Great for short-term under eye concealage wear, but when it comes to long-term all day, sharing that with you is really important because we want our products to do all the things. Multifunctional, travel, good, awesome, amazing, but just keep that in mind. That was what I've experienced and I had to share it with you in regards to using it both for concealer. I like allowing products to speak for themselves. So we did Tom Ford and Dior side by side. I hope you found this video helpful. But if you have any questions for me, please feel free to comment them down below. My DMs are always open on my Instagram and my other socials. But I'm always here to help. So I hope that I answered some of your questions that I was getting and that you guys had in regards to these two products side by side. Let me know what you guys think though. Comment down below. As always, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Happy Tom Ford Tuesday, everyone. Take a moment and give today's video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. Stay beautiful, guys. I'll see you soon. Very, very soon, because I gotta film my favorites. Bye.